Brussels is the capital of Belgium and is located in the central portion of the country. Brussels is the most densely populated and the richest region in Belgium and has a population of over 1.2 million people. Stay tuned to find all you need to know about this beautiful city. The most common theory of the origin of the name Brussels is that it derives from the Old Dutch compound word Bruxelles, where the word broek means marsh and the word cel means home, resulting in the word home in the marsh. Brussels grew from a small rural settlement on the river Seine to later become an important city region in Europe. The origin of the settlement, which was to become Brussels, lies in Saint Gauderica's construction of a chapel on an island in the river Seine around 580. The official founding of Brussels is usually situated around 979, when Duke Charles of Lower Lotharingia transferred the relics of Saint Gudula from Morcel, located in today's province of East Flanders, to Saint Gauderica's chapel. Charles would construct the first permanent fortification in the city, doing so on that same island. In the Middle Ages, Brussels became a commercial center specialized in the textile trade. The town grew quite rapidly and extended towards the upper town, where there was a smaller risk of floods. As it grew to a population of around 30,000, the surrounding marshes were drained to allow for further expansion. During the rule of Habsburg Emperor Charles V, Brussels was the main capital of the empire. In 1695, during the 9 Years' War, King Louis XIV of France sent troops to bombard Brussels with artillery. Together with the resulting fire, it was the most destructive event in the entire history of Brussels. Following the Treaty of Utrecht in 1713, Spanish sovereignty over the southern Netherlands was transferred to the Austrian branch of the House of Habsburg. Between 1795 to 1815, the city was occupied by France. With the Congress of Vienna, the southern Netherlands joined the United Kingdom of the Netherlands under William I of Orange. In 1830, the Belgian Revolution began in Brussels and the city became the capital and seat of government of the new nation. The city became a financial center, and the Industrial Revolution and the building of the Brussels-Charleroi Canal brought prosperity to the city through commerce and manufacturing. During the First and the Second World War, Brussels was occupied by German troops. After the last war, Brussels underwent extensive modernization. The first line of metro was opened in 1976. Starting from the early 1960s, Brussels became the de facto capital of what would become the European Union, and many modern offices were built. Brussels is located in the heartland of the Brabantian Plateau, about 110 kilometers from the Belgian coast. Proximity to coastal areas influences the area's climate by sending marine air masses from the Atlantic Ocean. There are approximately 200 days of rain per year in Brussels and about 24 days of snowfall. Brussels had a lot of tourist attractions, being statues, parks and hills with specific cultural missions, beautiful Art Nouveau and Art Deco buildings. The Grand Place is a magnificent square, which was originally a market. Even today it is still used for this purpose. If you visit it in the morning, you can see the flower stalls set out. The Gothic style Hôtel de Ville, or City Hall, was built in 1402 and forms the oldest part of the Grand Place. It is surrounded by the city tower and a range of beautiful 300-year-old buildings. The Grand Place and the streets around it at night have intense activity. The square is completely lit and it is common to see street artists performing and even opera singers. Also, in this area there are several little pubs that are open till late. The Manneken Pis is a statue of a child urinating into a pool. There are many stories of the statue's origins. It is believed to have been inspired by a child who while in a tree found a special way to drive away invading troops. Another story goes that a father was missing his child and made a declaration to the city that when he found him, he would build a statue of him doing whatever it was that he was doing. It has also been said a witch turned him to stone for peeing on her property. The castle of Laeken is the official residence of the King of the Belgians and the royal family. It sits in a large park called the Royal Domain of Laeken, situated 5 kilometers north of the city center. This palace is often confused with the Royal Palace of Brussels, which is situated in the center of the city. In this palace is the royal collection consisting of mainly state portraits and important furniture of Napoleon, Leopold I, King Louis Philippe and Leopold II. The building of the Brussels Stock Exchange is located near the Place de la Bourse, which is, after the Grand Place, the second most important square in Brussels. The building combines elements of the Neo-Renaissance and Second Empire architectural styles. The Atomium, a 102 meters tall sculpture of a 165 billion times magnified iron crystal, is an icon of Brussels and Belgium, important place for international tourism, unique creation in the history of architecture, an emblematic vestige of the World Fair in Brussels. The city had many interesting churches. Cathedral of St. Michael and St. Gudula is a nearly exact copy of the Notre Dame of Paris, and it is well worth a visit because unlike its more famous Parisian counterpart, entrance here is free and there are usually no waiting lines. The National Basilica of the Sacred Heart is the 5th largest church in the world. The construction of the church started in 1905 under the governance of King Leopold II, and it was finished in 1970. With its towering height of 89 meters and width of 167 meters, it is no wonder that it is the largest building in Art Deco style in Brussels. Our Lady of Finisterre Church is located north of the Grand Place. It was built on a site of a smaller 15th century church. Our Lady of Finisterre Church is well known for its extravagant interior. The European Quarter is a large office area east of the center, which is mostly taken up by the European Union institutions. Here are located the European Parliament, European Commission, European Council, and Cinquantenaire Park. On the east side of the park is the Cinquantenaire Arc. The largest park in the city is Brussels Park. The main entrance is on the north side, opposite the Belgian House of Parliament. An avenue leads to the main pond, from which 3 other avenues offer views of 3 important places in Brussels: the Palace of Justice, the Royal Palace, and the Place du Trône. Other famous park is Mini Europe. It has miniature reproductions of all the famous monuments in the European Union. Although small in size, they appear very realistic. Best place to have a view of the city is the Hill of the Arts, Mont des Arts. Here is located the Royal Library of Belgium, the National Archives of Belgium, the Square Brussels Meeting Center, and the Public Garden. Located in the heart of Brussels, the Museum of Ancient Art and the Museum of Modern Art are the most famous and most visited museums. Opened in 1799, the Museum of Ancient Art makes up the largest part of the Royal Museums of Fine Arts of Belgium. It features works of art from the 15th to the 18th centuries. This museum is particularly famous thanks to its vast and remarkable collection of Flemish paintings, as well as hundreds of works of art by old masters such as Van Dyck or Rubens. The Museum of Modern Art features works of art from the 19th century until the present day. Its collection of fine art is very varied, and some of the best paintings are by the surrealist Belgian artists. St. Hubert Royal Galleries is one of the world's first shopping malls, preceding other famous 19th century shopping arcades. It has twin facades with glazed arcaded shopfronts, separated by pilasters and 2 upper floors, all in an Italianate Cinquecento style, under an arched glass panelled roof with delicate cast iron framework. It consists of two sections, each over 100 meters in length, the King Gallery and the Queen Gallery. Brussels has three major railway stations: Gare Centrale, Central Station, Gare du Nord, North, and Gare du Midi, the South. Zaventem Airport is 14 kilometers from the city. It connects with Brussels by train every 20 minutes and arrives at three main stations in the city. I hope you enjoyed our video. If you know other interesting tourist attractions in Brussels, please leave a comment about them. If you want to see more interesting videos, help our channel to grow by pressing the like button and share our videos with your friends. And if you are the first time here, don't forget to subscribe.